So let's take a look at the system laid out for you. Number one, the first step in the system is to gather the data. If you're going to build a directory, and this is a site that is a combination of different resources, local resources, and listings of businesses, you're going to need to get that information from somewhere. Now, a long time ago, when I first started this, when I stumbled upon this whole process, this business model, I had to go out and get a Yellow Page data scraper, and this was something that was like a tool that would go out to, on the Yellow Page sites like yellowpage.com and scrape in all the listings, and then put them in a list format on the site, and that worked real well for a short period of time. But then there was legal issues, you're scraping another site's content, and then it was really buggy and didn't work well. So that was out the window. Then I had to pay somebody full time to copy paste the directory listings into my site, and that got a little expensive, and it just wasn't that practical because I wanted to crank these sites out in local markets all around the country. I eventually came out with a script that would do everything that these Yellow Pages services would do, except it didn't have to scrape anything. It was already tapped into a feed of the most up-to-date current local business information. And that script, if you already own it, you already know this, is WPLocalPlus. All right, the WPLocalPlus, we turned it into a WordPress plugin so that I could build all of my sites with the same functionality, but do it with WordPress. And if you don't know already, Google loves WordPress for rankings and for everything. So if you're going to build a directory site that's going to, carry weight in the search engines, I definitely would recommend WordPress. Not only for how simple it is to use, but also because of all the add-ons that you can do and the plugins that are available to make it that much more powerful of a system. Once you look at all the plugins that are out there for WordPress, there is no website platform on the planet that is as powerful as WordPress once you actually look at it, what it can do with all the plugins and all the themes and the different appearances and the SEO benefits. It's ridiculous. So you definitely want to go with WordPress. Now, WPLocalPlus, if you don't already own it, it's a plugin that will pull in the live business listings. Okay, and this is live data that's dynamic. All right, you refresh the page, the customer comes to your page. If that business goes out of business, then that listing will not be in your directory. There's a certain lag time there, but it will update itself. You have a constant updated directory on the site. In addition to that, you're going to have real reviews from customers, what they felt about the people who leave reviews on other sites. This information is going to stream into your WordPress sites. So if they leave a review about a restaurant or a particular plumber or real estate agent, that information will be right there on your site. Okay. You'll also get live Google Maps data streamed in. Okay. It's integrated fully so that it shows where the business is located on the live map above the listings. And if a particular business has a public discount or coupon going on, like say 50% on all purchases today, that coupon will show up on your site courtesy of WPLocalPlus as well. Now, so the first step is to gather the data. The second step is to choose a money niche. A money niche is going to be any niche market that has a high dollar value of the transaction, of the profits per sale, high dollar industry. Typically speaking, when I'm looking at a high dollar niche, a high value industry, I'm looking for a profession where the per sale amount is $500 or more per sale. These niches include dentists, medical specialists, all types. I mean, you have chiropractors, you have massage therapists, you have all kind of therapists of all types. Okay, financial planners, realtors, which is hot. I mean, this is a large portion of my client portfolio is with realtors alone. Mortgage brokers, they go hand in hand. And I've included a list, a money niche list PDF in this course. So it's the WPLocalPlus money niches. You'd look at that and you'll see that there's at least 50 in there of the top money niches that you can get involved with that pay out the most. We've already done the hard work for you, and you really can't go wrong with any of those. Now, that's not all of them. There's some that I didn't think of that aren't in there, and those are the ones that are probably you'll hit home runs with as well. Just keep in mind the average transaction value, and you'll identify some. A lot of these have niches within niches, and those are ones that you can really go in and make a fortune with. You're talking about ones like, for example, if you're looking at lawyers, I mean, within the lawyer niche by itself, you can pull out 20, 30, 40 great ones. You have paralegals, you have family law, you have divorce law, bankruptcy lawyers, you have corporate lawyers, you have It's more types of lawyers than you know what to do with. And what you can do is just go in your yellow pages and see the different types as well. Is to let this list be your starting point, and you can build it out a little further. But ideally, what will happen is you'll pick a niche. Okay, you'll pick one specific vertical is what it's called. If you want to deal with legal, then deal with legal, and you'll just crank that out and go through that entire niche all across the country. I started with accountants. We did some lawyers, but then when we got to mortgage brokers and realtors, business really picked up. So then once you have one realtor, there, it's easier to go and get another, get the competitors, and then go to a nearby city and say, you're working with this company here. And a lot of them have heard of each other because they're nearby towns, and it's easy. It's a little bit easier to transition into expanding and getting more advertising. And then before you know it, you have a whole network of realtors all sending you monthly. We call it mailbox money, on a monthly basis. Yeah, you have 30, 40, 50 realtors sending you checks for $300 at least. That's a really good feeling, folks. So dig into those niches and try to find one that you're going to want to hang your hat on, and you'll be fine. The next thing I suggest you do is go out and find local, semi-relevant, local brand CPA offers. Okay, I suggest adding some of these local, these recognizable CPA offers to the site because you put them in as featured advertisers. Okay. And there's a psychological thing that's going on here. If you put them in to your directory that we're going to show you how to create as a paid advertiser, it gives the feel that the big dogs are hanging out at your site. All right. You automatically assume that if you were your client or prospective client, if you have a site built for mortgage brokers, and you see a featured ad section on this mortgage broker site. Let's say you live in Dallas. All right, this is called DallasMortgageBrokers.com. And I don't know who owns that site. I'm just giving you an example. If you're a mortgage broker and I'm approaching you to advertise on this site, and it catches your interest, and you're in Dallas and you're a mortgage broker, you figure that you should be on this site, and you go and you look at the site and you see one of the top paid ads is City Financial. Instantly in your head, you're associating this site as a City Financial partnership or has some sort of association or affiliation with City Financial. It adds to the credibility of your directory. Now, I'll be the first to admit, in the beginning, before I got approved into CPA networks, I was sending free traffic to some of these companies, to these authority sites, just because of the benefit that it gave to me. In other words, I would set the directory up. I didn't have a CPA. I didn't get approved at that point when I was first getting started. I didn't get approved for the CPA network. I would just build my own banner. All right. This was for a mortgage company at the time. I made a banner sending traffic to their site, but it wasn't even an affiliate link. It was just, I gave them free advertising, and it was worth its weight in gold to me because other people, other brokers would come and say, oh, this directory is partnered or has some type of affiliation with Countrywide because they're sending traffic to Countrywide. All right. And I was just sending free traffic. But I strongly recommend, there's so many affiliate networks out there now. There's so many CPA networks out there. You can go to the Max Bounties, the Never Blue, any of those, and find an offer from a well-known company that's in the networks that's related to, kind of related. It doesn't have to be directly related, just kind of related. Financial services, for example, would be a vertical that you can put on the site if you were doing a mortgage site. By doing this, you'll also be monetizing the site, and you'll be making money off the traffic that comes in. And it creates this whole snowball effect with your site. All right, next you want to build out your site. And to do this, first things first, you got to go grab a domain name. The domain name should be an exact match for whatever it is that you are going to try to rank your site for. All right. Now, I have to warn you about keyword selection for local domains. The first thing that we marketers do is we head over to Google, we pull up the keyword tool, and we start plugging them in and seeing what kind of search. Well, we'll pick exact match and see what kind of searches come up. This can help you and this can hurt you. You can kind of weigh it out and see if a keyword is if it gets any type of traction at all inside of the keyword tool, but that's it. For local keywords, the numbers are really, really off. It's almost like throwing a dart in the dark. It's completely off. The only thing that I found it good for is gauging whether the keyword has legs, whether there is some type of search interest there. And even then, there's been complete times where the keyword wouldn't even show up in the keyword tool, but we would see it get 500, 600, page views in a month. All right. In that instance, it proves the fact that they don't pick up all the local keywords and display it in the keyword tool. Or maybe they do, but they just don't make that information, available in the results. So the best thing you do is use common sense. Start with common sense. If you're in the mortgage industry, you should grab a pad, grab a pen and paper, and start writing out what you would look for if you were shopping for a mortgage and you're in your town. All right. If you live in Bakersfield, right, and you're looking for a mortgage, you might put in Bakersfield mortgage broker. Simple enough. To double check that and see if other people think like you, go to Google and you're going to put in here Bakersfield mortgage. And there you go. What you see coming up says that other people do indeed think like you and type in as you type in. And they'll give you suggestions here right in Google. So if you put in Bakers, here, let's just do Dallas. I don't even know where Bakersfield is. No offense to anybody from Bakersfield. Mortgage. We have rates, bankers, and brokers. So you know that you can go with Dallas mortgage brokers. And you'll try to get that keyword. Now, word of warning, if you're picking a popular niche and you're picking a popular keyword, there's a lot of people doing local these days, and a lot of keywords for the popular cities. The cities that have the populations in the top 200, I'd say 100. Most of those have been purchased, unless you can think of different ways to find, different ways to word the keyword, to word the domain. So, for example, if you're trying to get, Dallas mortgage broker, you can also think, well, what other ways can you phrase that people type it in? You can go with, mortgage. This is just an example. I haven't done any research for this specific way. And you start typing, and you see what comes up. Google's telling you what people are typing in. Here's a little hint. Whatever comes up at the top gets to search for the most, because Google's positioning that first, saying maybe this is what you're talking about. And then they say, well, if that's not what you're talking about, then we think this is what you're talking about, meaning this gets searched for second most. So you can bet that any one of these, let's say Dallas, mortgage in Dallas, we're going to go to our instantdomainsearch.com, which is our keyword checker that we do, not ours, but this is the one we use if we want to check on the fly. And we just plug it in there, the mortgage in Dallas. And it tells you which ones are available, and look at that, the .net is available. So you want to get the exact match of a variation that people are actually typing in the search engines. All right. The traffic numbers don't really matter that much, as long as that you can show that it gets some traffic, but you're going to send a crap load of traffic to the site itself. But if you're ranked and you're sending traffic, well, it's going to be a lot easier to sell advertising. The more your traffic increases, the higher the ad rates you can go later on. So guys, really get this part right, because this is like the core of every site like this that you set up. You really got to have this domain in the exact match form. Don't put any hyphens or any cute little crap like that in there. Just get the exact match one way or another. If you absolutely must and you can't get the exact match, try adding some trivial letter at the end. I know that's what a lot of marketers are doing nowadays. Don't add a letter that would make sense. Don't add a number, first of all. Add a letter. And don't add a letter that makes sense. So if it's like mortgage, Dallas mortgage, don't add an S, because Dallas mortgages is actually a word. You don't want to rank for that word. You want Dallas mortgage or whatever's the word that's being typed in the search engine. So add add one of those weird letters that don't belong there, like a V or something, and that way it will kind of get ignored by Google. All right, the next step is to determine the look and feel of the site, and this is really not going to play a huge role. It will have some effect when we're talking about ad revenue and conversions on your ad. You can always test this, but the best approach you can take is simple, clean and simple. So if you can find any theme, paid or free, if you want to go the paid route with Theses theme or one of those themes, that's fine. If you want to go the free route, there's tons of free themes out there. Just use something, the white background is fine. Not a big, doesn't have to be a big, overdone, flash moving everywhere type of website. As a matter of fact, that might even hurt you. So you want something just clean and simple, that pretty much will display the content and still look very professional. The site has to be worthy of the advertising that you're asking for. In other words, if the site is complete crap and you're asking someone to pay $300 a month on that site, well, they may have an issue with that. So it has to be professional. Well, what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be over the top with all kind of flash and animated graphics and things like that. For the content, you already know what WPLocalPlus can do for the site. So that will give you the business listings, the dynamic updated business listings. That'll give you the reviews. That's going to give you the coupons and the daily deals that these businesses are offering. It's going to give you, just a lot of content that will fill out the site. And that's the part that it really helps with the search rankings, and it helps when selling clients, because they see this is like a sort of a portal for their specialty in that town. And we've done tests with just a regular site, and we've done tests with WPLocalPlus plugin installed, and the value that we get out of using the plugin is just ridiculous. So, that's other than the fact that we own it. That's why we're recommending it. You can build without it. You would just have to go to the yellow page sites, and you'll scrape some listings manually, and you'll post them in there into your post in directory format. There are some WordPress directory plugins that get kind of complicated, and they don't give you live listings. If somebody changes their number, it's not going to give you the live updated information, the latest information on the business, but it still could do the trick to get you started if you don't have the WPLocalPlus plugin already. But for the price that it's offered, it just makes sense to take advantage of all the stuff that it offers there. You also want to have easing articles. The easing articles will give you information on your niche. For this example, let's say you built a niche site on retirement homes, okay? Retirement homes, and what you would do is you would go to easing articles, and you would pull up all the information that they have there. This is great content on retirement homes. You can go and find maybe one good book from Amazon on retirement homes or something like that. You just want to find enough information that you can have sort of a resource that you can have. You can either pay somebody $10, or you can just sit down in the afternoon and just kind of reword some of the good pointers, the good tips that you'll find, like 5 things you need to know before picking a retirement home, that type of content. You want to sprinkle that content all throughout the blog itself. But the main piece you want to create is a FAQ, right? And this is going to be fact-like on the front page of your blog. So on the front page of this directory, or on the blog site, you're going to have things. If it's about retirement homes, it's going to say the 10 things you must know before selecting a retirement home. That's the first piece of content that's there. All right, and then you can have another piece of content, and that type of information we found pulls very, very much, and it also establishes you as an authority within that niche. So then when an advertiser comes, they want to see, what's this site about? They see that you are providing a service to consumers, and you're kind of acting as the filter, the gateway. And in order to get in good with all the consumers that are reading this content on your site, they got to get in good with you, which means they got to pay you for a monthly fee to advertise. If you just had a blank site with no value, well, if your advertisers are going to say, well, what the hell is here? What kind of traffic is this site getting? But if you really plush the thing out and you just have valuable articles, and you have, frequently asked questions, and the 10 things they must know before choosing a retirement home, how to make sure your loved ones are safe at a retirement home, and all kinds of things like that. Let's say 5 to 10 articles. We usually start with 5 to 10 articles. You can do with 5. You can do with 1, really. You can have one really good FAQ as your home page for the directory, just talking about the different things that somebody needs to know before choosing a retirement home. Then that'll be fine. You can build content later. But you definitely want to have some high value content like that, and you can have it rewritten. It doesn't have to be completely written from scratch from you. You can combine easing articles, move some things around, as long as you're not plagiarizing. Grabs the basic concepts, and then create your piece for the site. Then you want to go ahead and grab the CPA offer that you found, whether that's perhaps some sort of life insurance offer. You put that at the top of there, because when whoever that director of that retirement home comes and looks and say, okay, well they have this life insurance company as an advertiser, and this great content over here, I definitely got to get my ad in front of these people. Perception is everything. You're not misleading because you're providing a valuable service, because your site will be ranked in the top of the engines, and it will be getting traffic from their city. And more than likely, they will get more eyeballs from you than they will from their out-of-date Yellow Pages ad. Not to mention what you're going to do for them on the back end. And we haven't even gotten to that yet. That's coming up. So, recommended plugins. There's only 2 real plugins that you need, and you don't even need this one really. I mean, you can choose your own version of it. Marketers usually have, their own preference, all-in-one SEO pack, or maybe platinum SEO pack. It doesn't matter. Either one of those, you need an SEO plugin so that you can optimize each post As long as it does that and gets it'll do the job. And you'll soon see that the SEO is a lot less it's a lot less competitive than it would be for some of your big money internet marketing niches. All right, this is a totally different ball game here. The next one that you definitely need is Google XML sitemap, and this will go and create a sitemap for your post and your pages and everything that goes on with your blog, so that Google can pick it up and find all your pages easily. All right, and it does this automatically as your site grows. Obviously, you'll need the WPLocalPlus plugin. If not, you can build, like I said, you can build it out by hand. You just won't have the dynamic info or the all of the features, and it'll take you a lot longer. But if you already own WPLocalPlus, then you're already on the right track. You probably have already gone and built your first directory site with it. If not, you can get started with it and use this course to give you some sort of an advanced lesson case study onto how we use it and how you can go ahead and get going towards whatever your goal is, $300, $400, $500 a day. You can do that easily with this system. If you don't already have the plugin, you can go to the resources section, and you click that link and use this promo code, this local plus with a $sign at the end for the S. You use this promo code, you'll get it at a discounted rate, as for being a member of the profit plan here. For a limited time, we'll have this promo code live, and the discount will be good. If you go to it and it's not, that means we've ended it and we've hit X amount of people. So you want to check that out as soon as you can. Another really cool little handy plugin that we found useful for placing kind of different looking ads on the site. It was WP Ad Ticker. It's at WPAdticker.com. Don't buy it from the main site. You can get a cheaper price going through the resources link in the resources section. You can save almost 50% on it. So definitely want to check that out. But that's for plugins. I mean, that's pretty much what we use. And I told you guys from the beginning, I'll tell you exactly what we do. Those are the tools. The exchange for acquiring those tools and for putting them to use is quite honestly life-changing income. And while most people's SEO strategy revolves around their local strategy revolves around them finding clients, servicing clients, getting work outsourced, getting their client sites ranked, or getting, doing all these services. If you do a model this way first, you get the clients, you get the money, but you don't have any ongoing work except for to show their ad. And I'm telling you folks, I've done this every which way possible. It is one of the easiest ways to build relationships with your clients first. All right. Some of the easiest clients, some of your easiest customers, purchases will come from your existing clients. So after they're your advertisers, it's a hell of a lot easier to get them to purchase whatever else you want to sell them. You want to be an SEO guy and you want to sit around and do SEO all day, you can do that because you have a whole list, a portfolio of clients that buy advertising from you. And if they'll buy advertising, well, they'll buy rankings. You starting to see how this is coming together? So those tools, most of those plugins are free. WP Local, WP Ad Ticker, all together will cost you probably less than $30. All right. Let's move on to next. You're looking at the basic SEO strategy. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't an SEO course. It's not. All right. Because, quite honestly, you don't need that much SEO to get these things to rank. Once your site is filled with all the content from your directory, from WPLocalPlus, from the plugin, once your site is filled with the 5 to 10 articles that you've optimized and that you've set up on the blog, it's relatively easy to rank these sites, depending on the local market. I mean, if you're going after New York City brokers, mortgage brokers, well, good luck. It's getting very competitive in those markets, but you don't have to go after those markets to do this on a big scale. In other words, you can sit down and pick 200 markets today without even touching the local markets, the big ones, the main markets. You could pick 200 and you wouldn't even bump into competitors because you can pick the different ways that the words are written, and you can sit back and you would have a high 5-figure income. High 5 figures. Trust me, because we're doing it. So go with the low-hanging fruit. All right. And if you do that and you set the site like we're showing you to do it, SEO won't be a big issue. It won't be a big thing to you. But there are some tactics, and I told you I would reveal everything, so here they are. You do want to get some authority backlinks early on. This is going to pass on some sort of trust ranking to your site early on. So do that. There's tons of backlink packages out there, and you can look in the resources section. I'm not going to go through here and tell you what a backlink is and how to get a backlink. Just know, if you know what a backlink is, then go get a package, a trustworthy package. Look in the resources section. We'll have the ones that we found to be the most useful, and point those to the site early. Don't go overboard with it. You won't really need to. Bookmarking, same thing. There's tons of bookmarking services out there. If there's ever a question on any of this stuff and you don't know who to go with and you think somebody's overcharging you, don't forget about your friendly friend Fiverr, Fiverr.com. As you already know, Fiverr is a site you can come to and find anybody to do anything for you just about for $5. Okay, so you can come right in here and find someone that will do your backlinking, someone that will do your bookmarking for $5. Just stick with the people that have good reviews and you'll be fine. But like I'm saying, you don't have to really overdo this, folks. It's not going to be that hard. One of the best manuals that we've ever seen on that actually pertain to almost our exact model. We do things a little bit differently, but it would helped out tremendously as far as getting these sites ranked. Is the Underground Local Formula. This is located on the Warrior Forum, Warrior Special Offers. There's a link also in the resources section. This is one hell of a powerful system for ranking these kind of sites. All right. The guy's name is Paul, and he too has been in SEO for around 13 years, and he does a great job of putting together a proven system for getting these types of sites ranked very, very quickly. And he does it in a way where they really hold their ranking, regardless of whatever Google update is going on, Panda, whatever it may be. They really stick. And we use one secret weapon. My partners, we debated about whether to reveal this. Then we realized that it's probably not that big of a secret. It's just that not that many people actually use it with the local markets. So definitely look into the resources section under the heading Secret Weapon. And you can use that tactic as well. And that one resource, it's a plugin. That one plugin alone, I will say, will do 90% of the work for you as far as, let's say even say 95% of the on-page SEO for you.